more warm-ups and then a little for the glutes today. So sitting bones down, hips open, ankles, knees, hips, shoulders lined up, and crown to the ceiling. Relax your shoulders down and make sure you're supporting your spine. Take a deep breath in, let the belly move out as you fill your lungs, and let it sink back in as you exhale. Just take a few moments focusing on the breath, de-stressing, exhaling any stress and tension, just bringing in awareness, energy, relaxation, and releasing any tightness as you exhale. And then inhaling, bring your arms to shoulder level and stretch the fingertips out, spread your toes out. Hands to your heart, elbows slightly back, opening your chest. And inhale your arms to the front, but keep your shoulders down. And then exhale your hands back behind you and clasp the fingers. Just gently press them down and lift your heart. Feel the back bend, just gently through the whole spine. Pivot your hips, come on over. Lift your sitting bones, bring your hands toward your head. Move your chin around and relax. And then bend your knees slightly. Start at the bottom of your spine, wind back all the way up. And again, lift your heart. Shoulders down, head back. Remember, don't lift your chin too high. Keep stretching the back of your neck. And then inhale upright, release your arms, and just take a moment feeling your energy increase. And then again, arms at shoulder level, hands to your heart, stretch to the front, and clasp the opposite way behind you, other finger outside. Stretch up through the head, out, back through the head, up through the chest, and then exhale over. And again, keep the knees as straight as you can, getting a stretch on the back of your legs. Lift the sitting bones, and bring your hands toward your head, maybe a little bit more. And then again, with your knees slightly bent, work your way back up, and another little back bend. Stretch your head back, relax your shoulders down, and don't forget to breathe. And then inhale upright, release your arms, take a moment once more, just observe your body responding. Side stretches, so let's bring the arms out, palms to the ceiling, hands over your shoulders, and then clasp your hands, bring the arms next to your ears, and stretch your head and hands out. Keep the body facing the front, lean to the side. Take a moment there, push the foot you're leaning away from down, feel the side open. And then inhale back upright and switch your hands around. And again, arms by your ears, everything straight, and lean to the opposite side. Again, if you push the foot down, you'll feel those ribs stretch apart a little bit more as your hands reach away. And again, coming up, shoulders down, release your arms, and come into mountain pose. Take a moment there, toes spreading, crown high, and stretch your spine apart for our twist. Again, arms at shoulder level, palms to the ceiling, hands over your shoulders, clasp your elbows, arms next to your ears. Toes are spread, straighten your knees, and stretch your spine apart, and then turn to the side. Take a breath and pivot over in the twist. Keep the weight on both feet as much as you can. Arms next to your ears still. Lift your sitting bones once more. And then keeping the weight on both feet as evenly as you can, work your way back up in the twist into the upper body only back bend. Stretch into it, relax the shoulders, and don't forget to breathe. Inhale upright, exhale around to the center and switch your arms. And again, bring them back by your ears. Stretch the spine apart to twist to the opposite side. And then a breath in, and pivot over. Just exhale into that position as deeply as you need. And lift your sitting bones. Keep the weight on both feet. Keep the arms by your ears. And again, inhale your way up in the twist and work your body into that upper body only back bend, just gently lifting your heart. Shoulder blades down, elbows back. Take a moment to breathe. And then inhale up, exhale around to the center. Arms up, shoulders down, get your extended mountain. And then come up on one side and on the opposite toe. Stretch it out. Release that side and do the other one. Again, a little stretch through those ribs. And then both feet down, both arms up, both shoulders down. Pivot forward with your arms by your ears. And stretch it out. And then drop again into ragdoll. Pull in a little deeper, hands behind your legs. And just stretch the sitting bones up. Feel the back, get a good stretch. And then arms back to the center. And work your way once more into mountain pose. Take a moment there. Feel your body and turn your toes out. Bend your knees toward, not beyond your toes, hands above your knees for our twist again. So stretch the spine and then exhale, bring your shoulder across and down to the opposite knee as you turn your hip up and your body to the side. So hips, ribs, shoulder, everything are turning. Stretch it out, exhale and relax. And then inhale, turn back to the center and stretch. And exhale to the opposite side. Again, the shoulder comes down toward the knee and the hip you're turning toward goes slightly up as your ribs and shoulder also lift. Stretch it out and exhale. Once again, turn back to the center, chin tucking in, and come on back into mountain pose, toes to the front. Take a moment back in your standing position, just feeling your body a little bit more energized through the spine. Keep the hips open facing the front along with the shoulders. Bring your arms out, palms over your shoulders, palms toward each other. Shoulders down, shoulder blades toward your waist, sitting bones down. We'll go into our little chair squat. So bring your hips back, toes or knees toward your toes, but not beyond. Arms stay by your ears and just squat as deeply as your knees want to go. Stretch it out through the sitting bones, out through the crown and the fingertips. And then lead with your hands coming back up, palms out and back down to your sides. Take a moment again in mountain pose, just feeling your body. Relax your shoulders, stretch your spine apart, hips open, core activated, and we'll do our warm up for our balance. Spread your toes, lift them, make sure you got that ball of the foot area connected along with the heel. Toes and knees going to the front, hips and shoulder lined up with the knee and ankle. And then sink into that side, stretching up. As you bring the other foot up a little or more or toward your heart. And again, find your balance. And when you're ready, circle your opposite rib. Ankle, that's an ankle. And the other way. Flex and point as you put it back down and switch to the other side. Again, lifting your toes, spreading them out. Remember, no gripping with the toes. That makes you less balanced. Ankle, knee, hip, shoulder, core active, shoulders back and down, sitting bones down. Feel that hip open and sink into the other foot. And again, bring your foot up a little or more, however high it wants to go. Work your ankle when you're stable, both ways. And again, just straighten it out before you put it back on the floor. Take a breath. Exhale all that balance stress and come into mountain pose. Just close your eyes, focus inward, and bring your hands to your heart. Follow your fingers as you raise them toward the ceiling with your gaze and bring the thumbs back, looking at them bringing your chest a little higher for a back bend. Let's swan dive this time over, all the way into ragdoll. Hands up under your knees, halfway up stretch, everything straightening. Spread your toes, stretch your spine, and then bend your knees, coming to the floor into our child pose. Hips back on your heels, hands palms up, forehead down. Take a breath or two, just relax and stretch your spine, releasing any tension. And then bring your hands in the front, and we're coming up into table position. So get your knees right under your hips, toes straight back, elbows, knees, and no. Wrists, elbows, and shoulders lined up, body parts, honestly. Spread your fingers, get your hands really supporting you. And remember, options. You can circle your wrists anytime you need to. You can fold your mat a little bit and give you a little relief by putting the heel of your palm on the fold so it's not quite as bent. Or you can put your ring part of your finger down and fist your hands so that you don't have the bend in your wrist if that's bothering you. So just come into your table with that core activated to support your low back. Don't let it sag down. And we're going to do a little glute building today. So a couple of things. Keep your hips right over your knees and then stretch your right leg back and bring it up to hip level. So both hips face down toward the floor and your weight is even on both hands. And then bend your knee and your foot so everything's like a 90-degree angle on that leg that's up in the air. And then push your foot straight up to the ceiling and back down. So up and down. Keep the hips about even. So you're not raising the hip and pushing it back, but you're pushing the bottom of the foot straight up. So just take a few moments doing that, breathing with it. Keep that core active, supporting your low back. Exhale any tension as you push. Doesn't have to go high. Keep those hips as even as you can. And then bring that knee back down. Circle your wrists if you need to. And we'll do, of course, the other side. Keep the weight on both hands as evenly as you can. Bring the left leg out to hip level. Again, flexing the foot, bending the knee, making it as 90 degrees-ish as you can. And again, pushing the foot straight up to the ceiling, but keeping the hips even as much as you can. We'll just move that leg up and down a few times, pressing evenly into your hands, keeping that core active as you just move that heel up and down, keeping the hips as much facing the floor together as you can. And then straightening it out, bring the knee back down. And again, sink back and circle your wrists. Take a breath. Exhale tension. If your knees get to be bothering you, you can also fold your mat and put it under your knees so you have a little more extra cushioning under your knees. And we'll come back into our table position. So again, wrists, elbows, and shoulders lined up. Knees and hips and feet lined up. And this time we're going to keep the knee bent as you bring the leg out to the side. So just swing it up as little ways, but again, keep the hips down toward the floor on both legs. And bring it back down and bring it out and up. And just follow that with your breath. Inhale. Exhale. Just gently, just a few times. And of course, doing it on your own so that you're doing a little glute building. You can do it more often, but go ahead and bring the knee back to the floor. Again, circle the wrist anytime you need to. And we'll do, of course, the other side. So again, activate your core, stretch your spine apart, relax your shoulders, press evenly into your hands. into the heel of the palm and right under your fingers, along with spreading your fingers out. And then bring your knee up to the side, still bent, and down. And just rotate it at your own pace, breathing with it, keeping the weight on both hands as much as you can. And again, just let it come up as high as it wants to, but keeping both hip bones as much as possible facing the floor. Take a breath or two as you do that. And then after you've rotated it up and down a few times, bring the knee back to the floor. And again, sink back, hips to the heels, and circle your wrists. Take a few breaths, bring your head down, relax the back of your neck, stretch things out. Then again, arms out in front, coming up into table position. So this one's a little bit more core activating as well as glute working. Now this one's called, what's it called? Bird dog. So we're going to bring the left elbow in and the right knee up to it, and then straighten it out, bringing it up to hip level, or maybe a little bit higher with the hand and leg. So just exhale, crunch down, knee and elbow together. Inhale, bring it out, looking again forward or down. Exhale, crunch, inhale, stretch. And of course, you'll want to do these longer, more, to activate things more on your own. But for now, just a sample. So bring your hand and your knee back down. Again, circle that opposite wrist if that's something that feels good for you. And again, lengthening, stretching, breathing, getting that core activated so that we can, do that one on the opposite side. Elbow and knee together and stretching it out. Right at hip level or a little bit higher. Breathing with it, exhaling, crunching, inhaling, stretching, really lengthening through that hip and arm. Take a breath as you do it. Exhaling in, inhaling, stretching, and again, releasing. Hand and knee back to the floor. Once more, go ahead, sink your hips to your heels, circle your wrists. Take a breath. Exhale, tension. And then inhaling, sit up on your heels, and we're going to bring the feet out to the front, to the end of the mat. Coming into your staff position, activate your core. Shoulders right above your hips, crown reaching to the ceiling. Push those heels away, pull the toes back. Get the back of your legs stretching once more. Take a moment to breathe. And as you exhale, we're just slowly lowering to the mat. Take a moment there, exhaling, a little reclined integration. Just take a moment to breathe, relaxing your shoulders down, softening your belly, exhaling any tension. And then sitting bones toward your heels, draw your heels in toward your hips, press your back down, bring your legs up and extend your feet to the ceiling. And then take a moment to breathe, hands palms down near your hips, and then lift your hips just a little bit and bring them back down. Up and back down. And just do that a couple more times. Feel what's working. And then this time, as you push up, you can bring your feet all the way behind you into a plow position. So put your hands on your low back for support. And if your toes don't reach the floor, that's okay. You can bend your knees if you'd like to next to your ears, or you can bring your toes all the way to the floor. Straighten your legs as much as you can. Push your sitting bones up as much toward the ceiling as you can. Yeah, it constricts your lungs, so it's harder to talk. But just take a moment there, stretching your body, breathing into it. You can separate your feet to the sides. You know what that does. And then bring them back hip width apart. And then releasing your hands to the floor. Release your spine slowly back to the mat. And then slowly lower your legs, leading with the heels. And you can do that one at a time or both legs together, whichever feels more appropriate for you today. And when your feet get down, just take a moment there, reclined integration, taking a breath, exhaling and relaxing. Soften your belly, relax your shoulders. And then again, sitting bones toward your heels, press the back down, draw your heels up toward your hips, feet flat on the floor, knees right above your ankles, in line with your hips. And we'll do a little bridge. So again, we're going to contract the abs and the glutes as you go up. So hands, palms down next to your sides. Press evenly into your feet. Exhale, press the back of your body down, and then inhale your hips up toward the ceiling. And as you get up, just take a moment there, press evenly into your feet, check your knees to make sure they're still knee width or ankle width apart, and then clasp your hands under you, bring one finger inside and press the arms and hands down, and move up onto your shoulders, lift the hips, tighten the glutes, and breathe. So a little bridge position, sink evenly into your arms and feet. Remember, your head is on the floor, not your neck. And don't forget to keep focusing on those glutes and lifting the hips. And then releasing your hands and your shoulders, shoulder blades, ribs, and spine. As your back gets down on the floor, just take a moment to soften your belly. Breathe deep. Exhale tension. And of course, we'll do that with fingers clasped the opposite way underneath. So go ahead. Exhale, press the back down. Inhale those hip bones up, keeping those knees right at hip width, right above your ankles. And again, clasp it with the other finger inside. Press your arms and hands down, move up on to your shoulders a little higher if that works for your body. And again, make sure your head, not your neck, is on the floor. Press into your feet, up with the hips, tighten the glutes a little bit more. Take a breath. Exhale tension. Press down into the feet and arms. And then release your hands, your shoulders, shoulder blades, ribs, and spine. Take a breath. Just release any tightness. Now we're going to do a couple different things still. So staying in your position, keep those knees and ankles lined up with your hips, hands, palms down, press the back down, and again, lift the hip bones straight up, tighten the glutes, clasp your hands under you, and then work up onto your shoulders if that works for you. We're going to bring one foot off the floor and straighten the leg, stretch it out, bring it up toward the ceiling if you want. So feel your glutes working, keep those hip bones as even as you can, and don't forget to breathe. And then bring the leg back parallel to the other one, and bend your knee, foot to the floor. Release your hands, shoulders, shoulder blades, ribs, and spine. Take a breath, relax. And of course, we're doing that one on the other side. So again, pressing your back down, keeping those knees hip width apart. Inhale the hips straight up, clasp the glutes, bring your hands together under you, come up onto your shoulders, and keep those hips high and even. Stay there, or again, bring that opposite leg out. Work those glutes, tighten it a little bit, keeping the hips even. Stay there, or bring the foot up toward the ceiling. Extend out through the ball of the foot area, base of the toes. Stretch it out. Keep that other knee straight up, both hips as even as you can. And then rotating that leg back parallel. And bend your knee, foot to the floor, pressing to both feet. Release your hands, your shoulders, shoulder blades, ribs, and spine. Take a breath. Exhale, and draw your knees up toward your heart. Stretch your back. And then bring your arms out to T position. We'll do our twist. So hands, palms up or down, your choice. Keep the shoulders on the floor. Keep the legs next to each other and just roll them over to one side and turn your head toward the opposite side. Take a breath. Just relax. So remember, you can pad under your knees if you've got low back issues and don't want to go too far. You can turn your head as much as your neck likes to do or needs to do or doesn't need to do. So just be gentle if you need to and keep your shoulders down. Stay there if that's good for you, or if you like the low back getting a little bit more, knees toward your elbow, extend the legs out and feel those legs and glutes work a little bit more along with that low back. Take a breath. Just relax into whichever position you're in. And then heels back toward your hips and roll onto your back, getting ready to go to the opposite side for our twist. Shoulders down, hands, palms up or down. Try it both ways, see what the difference is. And again, roll the knees to the opposite side. Turn your head to the arm behind you. Keep the shoulders down and only bring the knees as far as your body needs and wants. Take a breath or two, just relaxing into that. If you like the low back working harder, knees to your elbow, legs extending out. Take a breath. Keep those shoulders down. Feel your twist. Just maximize or minimize whatever's right for you. Exhale any tension. Feel what's working. And of course, we need to relax. So go ahead and bring your heels toward your hips and roll onto your back. Feet to the floor, slide those legs out, hands palms up next to your hips, and shoulders down for our corpse position for relaxation. Take a deep breath in, exhale, just let your body soften and sink. So lots of hip and glute and lower body work today. Just let your whole lower body soften and sink. Deepen the shoulders down into that surface beneath you as well, and roll your head back forth, side to side. Let that neck release, shoulders relax. With the hands palms up, that keeps the heart open. Take a deep breath and just let your body grow even heavier. Sink deep into that earth surface and let your body go completely. As you soften and sink, know the earth will support you as it always does. Release and relax into that. And allow your awareness to release your body. As you do, other thoughts will come to your mind. Let them go as well. It's the job of your mind to keep producing thoughts. It's your choice whether you pay attention. Remember, you can let the thoughts disappear as easily as your breath without awareness. Breathing in and out, thoughts flowing in and out. Just your awareness releasing your body and your mind, turning your attention inward, finding that peace within. And let the peace fill your body, fill your mind, and just take a few moments releasing into the peace. And if you're relaxing really well today, just go ahead and keep relaxing. If it's time to get ready for the rest of your day, though, just begin drawing energy and awareness with the breath back to the moment, to the room, to your body. Begin moving it however feels good for you today, breathing more fully, stretching more completely as you bring that energy and awareness back to the moment, to the room, to your body. Breathing and stretching when you're ready for that final yoga hug of appreciation. Bring your sitting bones toward your heels, drawing your heels again toward your hips and your knees up toward your heart. Wrap your arms around. Give yourself that appreciative yoga hug. Let your body know you appreciate its yoga work today and the work your body does for you every day. And when you're ready to release, head and feet to the floor. Roll over to the side and sit back here, getting ready for whatever's ahead for you today. Thanks for joining me.